Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Podocasts. We sort of did a post-mortem on the Eli interview during the live stream last night, but I thought it would be fun to drill down a bit more on some of the answers I got out of Eli and how I wish some of them had been different. Let me start by saying I am a huge advocate of AMP. I think my past videos sort of prove that out. I am a fanboy of AMP, but AMP and Flexa are different entities. It's fair to adore one and maybe not really love the direction of the other. I do like Flexa. I have a t-shirt and everything. You guys saw it. But some of the directions that they are clearly going, and this was out of the horse's mouth. This wasn't conjecture on my part. This is what the man said. I disagree with a little bit. It's nothing personal at all. It's money. And I want to be as fair as I can when I am talking about this product, AMP, and this company, Flexa. I bit my tongue on the interview because this was more or less the meet and greet with Eli. And when we get him back, I'm going to mention all of these questions and see if I can really get down to the nut. The man was a pro. Definitely knows the company and definitely knows the product. But some of the hard and fast directions of Flexa, I'm not exactly thrilled with. I would have preferred different answers. Those are what I'm getting into today. And if you don't particularly care for me being a bit negative, rest comfortably in the knowledge that I am a very small channel and what I say or don't say is not really going to move the needle much on AMP. I'm just getting them out there so you know that I noticed. And please keep in mind during this entire video, I'm not beating up on AMP at all. It's as close to perfect as it can be, in my opinion. This is about Flexa. This is not an AMP critique. The answers I really didn't like. Getting into that today. Please stand by. I'm going to start with the top of the list because it is talked about so much on the Reddit, on the forums, and you know what, in my very own comments. Consumer incentives. Flexa definitely takes care of the merchants. 0.5% as opposed to the 3 to 5% for Visa or MasterCard. Safe, secure, fast, chargebacks, all of that. And we have drilled down on those in other videos. But these are AMP advantages and not Flexa advantages. And these will be the same advantages given to any entity who builds on the AMP network. They will all enjoy the same benefits. It's how the network functions. So when we asked about consumer incentives, the only answer I could get was use stablecoins. Now, I liked and disliked that answer. There is an advantage to using stablecoins, of course, namely APY from holding those stablecoins. Gemini Dollar, for example, will pay you 7.8% just to hold them. And you get that all the time, not just when you spend. That was pretty much the answer I got. If you want to be incentivized to use Flexa and make crypto spends, stablecoins is what you should use. I like the answer because it was at least an answer, but I dislike the answer because it seems that Flexa is being built around using stablecoins. If the only consumer incentive to using Flexa is stablecoins, why offer all the other cryptos that you do offer? Why offer BAT? Why offer Orchid? Hell, why offer Doge? You told us flat out, no rewards. Use Gemini Dollar or Tether or another stablecoin. But by doing that, you literally handicapped spending anything else. So why offer it? Now, you're always going to have people like me who will spend Doge exclusively because I want to make a statement with it. But I dare say that I am in the radical minority on that end. And I'm not going to convince 2 million Doge holders that if you want your coin to be something more than it is, you have to give it a use case and spend it. But You know what? You can help me out with that, Flexa. You can. Incentivize Doge spends, and people will. If you don't, it will stay in the realm of Dunkin' Donuts. Visa has already shown you how to do this. They offer cash rewards all the time on certain cards, but more cash back if you use it for gas or groceries or any number of things. And I never thought I would say this, but do what Visa does and incentivize particular spends, and people will. But defaulting to stable coins and letting the exchanges cover the incentives, I'm just saying, I don't care for that. Didn't really like that one. So let's talk about the North American focus. Also, out of the horse's mouth and not out of mine. The focus of Flexa at this time will be North America, almost exclusively. I would have to ask, considering that you partnered with Incom, which has such a large international reach, why are you staying focused on North America when the rest of the world is embracing crypto spends and North America is fighting them every step of the way? I understand fighting the good fight. I'm an advocate for Doge spending, so I understand the quest. But I also recognize an uphill battle, and that if there is an easier way, take the easier way. Japan, Korea, Singapore, these are big economies and very techno-friendly. They embrace things, and new ideas. It's cultural for them. Central America and South America, countries down there are starting to legalize Bitcoin. They are embracing them as an alternative to native currencies. Now, to me, that is a great big flare in the air telling you to get down there and get to work. But Flexa is still going to focus on the U.S.? I gotta ask why on that one. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for someone like Lightning to beat you to the punch? First into that market, down there, will roll from country to country, consuming the entire continent. If it works in El Salvador, it will work in Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, etc. If your goal is to grow your network, it seems to me that your focus should be where it's wanted, where it is needed, where there is a natural demand for it, as opposed to trying to force a niche product into a country that is slow to change, particularly when it comes to money. And again, I understand fighting the good fight, but the Far East and south of the U.S. is a much easier path, and I would have preferred that answer. Why try and batter down a gate in the U.S. when the gate is wide open in the rest of the world? Just saying. I have a lot more elephants to discuss, but you know what? This is probably running long for us, and I get that people can only take so much of me. So I will finish this with staking rewards. Now, currently, Flexa has an effective monopoly on staking rewards for AMP, as you are pretty much the only entity built on the AMP network, and a captured audience is very easy to deal with. But the staking rewards are paid directly out of your accounts. It is a money hemorrhage, and you will not be able to maintain it. So what is going to be the investor incentive when the staking percentage gets shut off? You've gone on record stating that consumers won't be incentivized and that you prefer to hand that burden over to the exchanges. So how long can you maintain the staking rewards for investors, considering that you're paying them yourself and you're not doing much volume right now? It's a long road, and I get it. I have said it many times, but this video is about elephants, and this is certainly one of them. The staking rewards will have to end. You cannot keep it up when this scales. Everyone who stakes now, this early, and increases the Flexa market cap is hemorrhaging money from Flexa, because it isn't being used. The volume isn't there right now. You are bleeding. And because you're choosing to take the hard path, North America, I don't see the bleeding slowing anytime soon. You are going to have to trim that percentage or go bankrupt, supporting a staking model that you aren't utilizing. So how do you plan on incentivizing investors and diminishing staking rewards with a token that is flat in price? If it is going to go up, we don't really care about the 3% stake. But right now, it's not. And it's not going to for quite a while. So where are we at with that? Further, how will you deal with the bleed off when other companies start building on AMP and offer greater rewards to AMP stakers? Much love for Flexa. All right, I'm a huge fan of first to market, but AMP is open sourced. Anyone can build on it. And when they need to up their capacity, they will offer a better reward for investors. History clearly backs me up on this. We see it all the time, all over the DeFi. Finite resources, supply and demand. These are facts. Anyway, those were just off the top of my head, and I wanted to go on record. So, you know what? Consider me on record. I would have liked different answers. And I'm pretty sure I told you what I would have preferred. Now, certainly your takeaways will be much different than mine, but I want to be as fair as I can in my, I don't know, reporting, I guess. It's nothing personal at all, but I think it's fair. Live stream on Thursdays at 1900 Central. Cheers.